The background footage for this is World of War Tanks Modern Armor. This is going to talk about, this video is going to be about public-facing people and the way I would handle, if I was a streamer. I am a content creator, but if I was a streamer, the way I would handle clipping and just thinking about the possibility of people taking me out of context. And I also want to preface this by saying that it is easier for someone to sit on the sidelines and critique someone. When you are streaming, you are doing a lot of things at once. You're reading chat, people have donations coming in, and there's all this stuff, like you're juggling balls, you're balancing plates, or whatever you want to call it. That, you do get some level of professionalism over time, but it's still very taxing, right? So keep that in mind. Also, when it looks like a streamer is not reading a chat, they are. They see mostly everything, right? So that being in mind, I'm going to use this VTuber from Hololive English called Bezel. Look, these. I understand people pick. I don't know if they pick their names or if the company picks their name. It's. Think of it like gazelle with a B. Or Giselle. That's a good way to remember it. Sheesh. Let's see. Just look up Hololive English Bezel or Rat VTuber. And there was a clip I came across that sparked this idea where she was doing, what is it, Yakuza? And there was something that came up where there was interaction between two characters in like a building or something. And she said that men are such pigs, right? She was partially speaking in Japanese, and I think she had the Japanese voice acting on the game. I'm pretty sure if you hear that, but there was subtitles. So from what I could track, that's like what she was interacting with, right? Like it didn't look like anything that she was talking to about chat or anything like that. So yes. The clip was 9 minutes. The clip was 9 minutes long from start to finish. And it wasn't from the actual streamer, it was from a third party on YouTube. But the person did have a lot of time to think about what they said after what they said. Right? This isn't like a 1 second clip of like, gotcha. This is like, it looks bad. Really bad. This is someone who is a public facing figure of a company. Right, who is going through a lot of trouble right now, and tension between men and women aren't great, especially on the internet, and men and women both do shit to each other, and anytime someone gets their point of view across, you have someone like this person, this Bezel person, come along and say something like that. It's like shouting fire in a mattress factory, right? And there not being one. It's sort of like that sort of thing, right? It's a lot of more things get messed up other than saying there's a fire in a mattress factory. Is that this person said things and then had a point where she wasn't talking. So there's obviously a point in her head where it's like, did I say something wrong? And at one point in the clip, she sort of has like a come to Jesus moment, like she told her has like, or something to the effect. It's obvious, you'll see it. And rather than like going into it with her chat, why she said that, she sort of doubled down, right? Like she in her mind, I guess, devil's advocate, that maybe she thought by then it was too late. That someone already clipped it, and people already came to their conclusions they wanted to. But it's like, I'm sorry, bitch. You are, like I said, a member of a public-facing company right now. Hololive, in general, is going through all sorts of shit. And this is just another thing. It's like basically yelling the N-word nowadays, right? no matter how right the woman might be, no man wants to be called a pig. They've heard it so many times they don't want to hear it. They just shut down, right? Same thing with like women being called bitches or whatever. It's like they just shut down. They don't want to hear it. So regardless of what she wanted to say, she needed to say it. That when you are, to take away from this person for a moment, when you are a member of a corporation, you are a spokesperson, right? Regardless of what kind of agreement you have with that corporation, you are their billboard, their advertiser. It wasn't Beazell the VTuber saying men are pigs. It was HoloLive saying men are pigs. And I might cut out a lot of this video to get to this point. That's what it is. People did not see at that moment the person. They saw the company. And in their minds, rightfully so, this person was signed by HoloLive. And they're allowed to say stuff like this, so obviously the corporation agrees with it. And the fact that it is the EN branch, they further extrapolate in their heads, and a lot of times rightfully so. Well, they're in California, of course they think that way. So what that does is it brings hate and bad intent and ill will to everybody else who comes into that branch. Say what you want about Niji Sanji, but at least those fuckers had the common sense to dissolve their EN and their JP branches. And as far as I know, the CN branch is gone as well. That they ruled everything into Niji Global, right? And it looks like that's what HoloLive will have to do, or they're going to get hollowed out live. That jokes aside, and like I said, I'm not a streamer. There's a lot going through your head, but this is the last time I'll say this. This was not a second long clip. This person had 9 minutes and 17 seconds. If they had long enough to realize that someone's going to clip it, then they had more than enough time to either backpedal or justify their actions. And this is also hurting people who are younger who want jobs. It is the excuse that people who are against repealing child labor laws and the age of consent laws, like, well, how can they consent? They're not adults. How can they work? They don't act like adults. Because every time they do let kids work, or let other things go on, then the kid blackmails someone. You think kids don't blackmail people? That shit happens all the time. They do it to their fucking parents. Yeah, the mom, I'm sorry, this is a side tangent. Yeah, the mom washes their pussy and their dicks, and maybe they come. But then, later down the road, it's like, okay, I had sex with my kids. I'm going to take responsibility, and I'm going to do it again. I may not like it, but I'm going to do it. And then the little bastard takes a video, and the person's blackmailed now. That's how it works. It's not always the adults. The Charlie shit, all of the kids killing other kids for weird rituals they see online. It happens all the time. So my point being is every time there's an example, every time there's an exception that's being made, it's like, okay, we'll let you work. It gets thrown in their face. And the people who suffer are the people who come up behind you. Right? Now, this person may, retire or quit, and that's that. Right? But it's never over. And the idea that any press is good press is way outdated. Way too outdated these days. People could say that. I'm going to end it soon. People could say that when it took a cycle to make up a press story. Someone can clip something faster than a newspaper can get printed. So I'm going to send this to the person in question and the corporation. You had 9 minutes. You clearly thought what you said was wrong, not only on your behalf, but on the behalf of the corporation you work for. Knowing the sentiment that men have towards women, and a lot of it rightfully so, that you need to apologize. not as a person. I don't give a fuck about your personal beliefs. It's a corporation. You are Hololive EN. You are not the person behind the BZL model. You sold your soul, bitch. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good day.